So we are back in the building with Bro.Rich of BlackMagik363. It's a lot of Virgo energy in the building here.
Facts.
We're all Virgo.
All three of us?
All three of us.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is crazy.
This is going to be the greatest show ever.
Yeah, so we're going to get this shit cooking. So BlackMagik363, Bro.Rich has been around a very, very long time. He was one of them young brothers when we were putting on events back at LIU, Brown Chocolate.
Time out. Free World Bros, thank you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that.
Thank you
for that brand.
$100 donation.
Yeah. Appreciate
dope.
that. Appreciate that.
Thank you. And
that's dope.
Yeah.
So Bro.Rich would always be in the building, observing, there to learn, and then he began to figure this was a part of his calling, and it's time to activate. And he been so far since then putting on a great example of what it is to represent a community the right way. I got to get at it. Bro.Rich, Father Rich is what we have, what we call integrity. You know what I mean? And no disrespect to other people, but anytime you call me for anything, I'm in the building. So we are here with you.
Yes, sir.
You being a Virgo, we are the hermit card in astrology. We stay to ourselves. We enjoy our own company. We are creative beings, but when we got some shit, we hit the forefront. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And so you was telling me you was working on something beautiful. And so now we are here. I want you to share with the people what this project is all about and how we're all going to be able to benefit from, this latest creation.
Give me a couple of minutes because I gotta introduce what I'm bringing to
Absolutely.
with my album. With first of all, me and Cambada, I feel as though, they say you got to be confident, Black Dot, right?
Yes.
They say that, but then when they see confidence, they get intimidated. So it's the weirdest shit in the world.
Yes.
So me and Cambada feel as though we're bringing forth a new genre of music. And it's not necessarily a new genre, but we're naming it because I seen Teddy Riley on the Breakfast Club, and he said, when you have a certain sound, you have to name it for the people to understand it.
Right.
So a new sound we're developing is called medicinal music. And with medicinal music, where our aim is to heal the people. Sound forms matter. Everything vibrates. Nothing is at rest. So these computers, these MacBook Pros that y'all using, it looks like it's just here resting, but it's actually vibrating.
Yes.
And if our ears was audible enough, we could hear what it's vibrating at. Everything we do, our clothes, everything is vibrating.
Yes.
So with that being said, everything is music. Matter is music. We live in a world of music. So we understand that music it could be healing or it could be destructive.
Yes.
The powers that be understands that, and they understood that, I'm going to utilize music for the destructive capabilities because I want to remain in power.
Absolutely.
I'm weak. Dame Dash taught me something very important. He said weak people spend a lot of time and energy trying to decide how to conquer strong people. Strong people, when you're strong, you don't think about nobody. You're not thinking about
conquer. Exactly.
So they're like, how did we get conquered? How did it happen? We're not thinking about that shit.
Right.
But the weak person, they're thinking about you all day long. They're like
scheming.
They're like
scheming.
Look at that nigga eyebrows. Look at the nigga hairline. Oh shit. We're a strong person. We're not thinking it. We're just being us.
Yes.
So because of that, we have to understand who we are. We have to understand what we are being not negligent to, but we're being we're just not paying attention. We're not paying attention to a lot of things going on around us. And me and Cambada said that we're gonna pay attention. Attention is currency. That's why I'm using the word attention. So we're gonna pay attention to the music being currency and the music being a healing aspect of our people. So since music is healing, we're gonna use this music to heal our people intentionally. And I'm coming out with a meditation album, right? So that's the first aspect of this medicinal music. And a meditation album is basically what I want us to understand. the importance of meditation. We're the last culture, I feel as though, not the last, but probably we just don't get the importance of meditation.
Absolutely.
We just mourn Kobe Bryant, right? We was crying boo-hoo. We was like, oh my God, Kobe Bryant, he was a god. And the Mamba mentality. You know what the Mamba did? The Mamba meditated.
Yes.
The Mamba meditated, Malcolm.
Right.
The Mamba said, if I don't meditate, I feel like I'm chasing the day. So if we're going to hold the Mamba mentality, I want the Mamba mentality. I want to be the Mamba. I want to have this work at the the Mamba. The Mamba meditated all the time. Mm-hmm. Phil Jackson taught him that. He was a little chaotic coming into the NBA, and somebody needed to calm him down, and Phil Jackson did that.
And Phil did that for Michael Jordan and them as well.
Yeah.
And they laughed at it at first until they realized the meditative state of them having the same thought process. When they hit the court, they look like one person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Phil Jackson did bring that to them, and excellent breakdown. Absolutely.
So a person may say, Doc, why, or Malcolm, why is meditation important? Meditation is important. The number one goal of all humanity, regardless of how I feel about you being white, black, Asian, whatever these terms they call us, is receptivity. Receptivity is the number one goal of humanity. Why is receptivity the number one goal of humanity? Because consciousness does not exist in the brain. Memory does not exist in the brain. Consciousness is not a function of the brain. Consciousness is a function of the brain accessing memory from the vacuum.
From the big,
exactly. Or the field, or the matrix, whatever. Because these are just terms we call it, whatever term we want to call it. So we're accessing information from the vacuum, then that means that we're like a radio. You know the radio? Imagine you're back in, let's say, the 1950s, and there's a boxing fight on. And the announcer is like, let's get ready to rumble, Joe Frazier versus... You're not going to break that radio and say, we're the motherfuckers, the announcer. Right. You're not going to do that.
Right. Even though when I was a kid, I used to think if I broke the screen, I could be on the TV. But that's just kid shit. Yeah.
Hey, so listen, the announcer is not in the radio, right? Mm-hmm. So consciousness is not in the body. The same way, if we want to understand spiritual technology, we have to understand the technology we use because it's all the emulation. So, consciousness is not in the body the same way the announcer is not in that radio saying, let's get ready to rumble. So because of that, we have to understand that our body, just like that radio, is accessing information from somewhere else. So let me give you an analogy. If you are driving from New York to New Jersey, and you're in a car, you say you turn to 97.1. The further away you drive from New York to New Jersey, you're gonna lose that signal.
Right.
You lose that signal. Everybody gonna say, "What does this have to do with meditation?" The further away you drive from New York City, you lose that signal. The more you lose that signal, you're gonna get distracted. You're gonna get annoyed. You're gonna get frustrated, irritated,
trying to find the signal back.
Trying to find the signal back. All of that. Eventually, if you're gonna either have to turn it off or you're gonna get sick listening to that shit.
Right, because it's not in tune. It's a distorted frequency now. Yes.
So the analogy is, this is where we are in life. We're listening to signals and frequencies that aren't us. The only way we listen to that broadcast signal is by meditating and tuning into who we are and letting go of the distractions.
Drop a bomb on that.
So
yeah, absolutely.
Drop a bomb.
So we gotta understand who we are. When we listen to a radio, it's the same way of who we are. We are listening to. We need to tune into our broadcast signal. We need to tune into who we are. Who we are has nothing to do with who the world tells us who we are. All that shit is a distraction. That's the static. That's the static that you listen to when you're driving. You know what I'm saying? So meditation is going to bring us back home.
And the weapons being used against us are distraction. Because focus, anything you focus laser attention to, is brought into existence at an accelerated rate.
I've actually never heard meditation spoken about that way.
No, but
never using an analogy. I've never heard the analogy like used that way.
So it is on point.
Yeah. So what we have to understand, there's something in our brain called the reticular activating system, and you could literally, as I'm talking, you could open up another window and look this up. It's a reticular activating system. The reticular activating system in our brain is a filtering system. You got to understand, we, in our prime, who we are unlimited awareness. But in order to experience this reality, we have to have a filtered experience. A filter means you block so much shit out. It means you block things out. So they say we only see 10% of what's happening.
And we only hear maybe 20%.
So imagine you filtering out 80%, right? Like, that's crazy. But this is how we get such a focus, intention. This is how we get high. Our soul gets high on reality. And when we're done getting high, we don't want to experience a filtered experience. We get high. Drugs is an emulation of what we do when we come down to humanity. So we get a filtered experience in humanity. We get high off of, let's say let me say this like this. If I'm the greatest basketball player in the world, let's say I'm Michael Jordan, I'm getting high off of basketball. My soul is getting high. You know how we got drugs in the physical? We got marijuana, CBD, not CBD, shrooms or whatever.
Yes.
In the spirit realm, we say, I'm gonna get high. I'm gonna be the best basketball player in the world. Oh shit. I'm gonna be the best politician in the world. That's another drug. Oh shit. I'm gonna be the greatest ruler. I'm gonna be Alexander the Great. I'm gonna be a white man, and I'm gonna oppress the black people. Nigga, I'm gonna tell them niggas that they ain't shit. We're getting high off of different drugs. These drugs are called experiences. A drug is nothing but experience. So with that experience and with that drug, we're getting high off of this filter. What we gotta understand is that ultimately we're not a filter. We are unlimited awareness. So with that, it's like a paradox. It's like a contradiction. That's why the greatest people in the world, they contradict themselves, because it's hard to understand this shit.
And people don't understand the contradiction, but it's because it's the paradox.
We will go crazy trying to understand this world. Yeah. But when you really understand this world, it's such a complete contradiction that you're like, hold up, I'm this, but I'm that. I'm this, but I'm that. Hold up, I'm black. But no, I'm black. I'm unlimited awareness, but I'm black because I'm going through this, and the police is killing me, and my people are dead, and we went through slavery, and we have a mythos. So you will become bipolar.
Yes.
So this is why so many people turn crazy studying this information, and this is why you shouldn't push this information on everybody, because everybody isn't ready for this information. And one more point before you say that. And this is why this information was only available to a selected few in antiquity, but because we have the internet, it's available to everybody, and everybody's like, nigga, I don't understand this shit. Get this shit out of here.
And that's why when the internet was introduced to our teachers, Bobby, Phil, Steve Coakley, Delbert Blair, a lot of it came with ridicule because the information was not digestible to those who were not on that frequency. We were fortunate enough to be there for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours at a time and have them walk us through a process so that we could be receptive to that information. And now it is our duty, we are the custodians of such information and have to make it palatable. And that's where, not plugging Hip Hop Decoded, but that's what my mission was when I did Hip Hop Decoded, was to make certain concepts palatable to a generation who was on a different frequency so that they could understand what was going on. Drop the bomb.
This is what, can they hear me?
Yes.
This is what I need the people to understand. Different frequencies that contradict each other doesn't mean one is right and one is wrong. And it's a very mature concept to understand. Bobby Hemmett never embraced the internet culture. He never wanted to promote himself on the internet. Panic decided that that's something he wanted to do. It doesn't mean Panic was right, Bobby was wrong, or Bobby was right, Panic's wrong.
No, absolutely.
What it means is one generation had their goal and their mission, and another generation had their goal and their mission. Bobby felt as though, shit, I'm not putting all my information out there. Panic said, yo, this is the new wave.
Right.
So with that being said, just like you said, it's a polarity, and we have to understand that and it's a very mature concept.
Isaiah Bryant, thank you, appreciate you.
Just because Elijah Muhammad said something, or whoever we love and adore says something, doesn't mean we have to follow them to a T.
Absolutely.
We live in a new time, in a new era. We are not the ancient Kemites. We are not Bobby Hemmett. We are not the ancient Sumerians.
Yes.
We are a new race, a new people, a new time, and we have to develop our own individual way of thinking.
Absolutely.
And
that information was relevant for that day and
that
time.
time, yeah.
And if the information don't move, it's not valid. So you get people who are stuck to this day in the 50s and 60s and 70s, and we have to evolve, and the information has to take on a different meaning for this day and time for it to be useful. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, the internet, whether you want it to be it or not, it's here. So a whole new generation is brought into a level of information because of the avenues afforded to us that weren't there before. Absolutely. Yeah. So with that being said,
so with the meditation, like I was saying, the number one goal should be receptivity. And I brought up the example of the broadcast tower, of us getting away from the broadcast tower and hearing the static. Meditation is a way to us to get home to our home frequency, our home resonant frequency. Once we get home to once we get to that home frequency, that resonance frequency, we discover who we truly are. Everybody wants to know thyself. Know thyself isn't about a race. Know thyself is about you as an individual. Because if we're looking at a puzzle, if this piece of the puzzle says, I'm this piece of the puzzle's never going to get together. This piece of the puzzle has to understand that it's an individual piece, and this is an individual piece. We're like, we're all a race, and we all should think the same. We have the monolithic way of thinking. No, nigga, you have an individualized way of thinking, and you bring something to the table that nobody knew. Just like my fingerprints different from Dot and Malcolm. Nigga, our mission is different from everybody. So this puzzle is different from this puzzle, and we have to focus on that. But if we just focus on race consciousness, we will never figure that out. We have to, and it sounds selfish, and that's what I'm saying about the paradox. Mm-hmm. But greatness is selfish to a certain extent. Malcolm X spent time to himself, neglected his family.
Absolutely.
Michael Jordan spent time to himself. Kobe Bryant told his wife, listen, I need a certain amount of time to myself to do what I do.
Absolutely.
You know how much time he sacrificed with his family?
Absolutely.
So if you truly want to be who you are, you need solitude, and that's that at the end of the day.
And that's what separates great individuals who change paradigms and regular people who just live in an everyday life, who never rise above and understand that laser focus that we speak about through meditation. And what I'm appreciating about what you're saying is, because I was listening to you last night, is we have to learn to meditate under different circumstances.
Indeed.
So now, because I spoke years ago about having a noise meditation, and what I was trying to say was, because of so much chaos is going on, how do we zero in and still focus? So when you speak about this project, you're making it in the environment that we're in. We don't live in the mountains. We're not fucking monks. So you can't make some meditation shit that's just for fucking monks. It has to be something conducive to the day and time that we live in. And I know who you are, so I know you've been cooking it up, from an alchemical standpoint. So tell me about some of the different frequencies and how this is going to move up the chakras, and how the alpha, beta, is going to put people in the right place so that they can maximize what Black Magic has to offer when it comes to this.
I don't want to say it's easy to meditate in the mountains like the monks, but what I'm going to say is that we probably did that in a past life, Doc.
That's what I mean.
And that's.
But it was easy because nothing else around.
Yeah, nothing else around.
No big booty hole.
When you in jail,
shit, yeah.
A jail nigga is the most genius nigga in the world. If you ever talk to a nigga that's been locked up for 10 years, he has a million ideas. He's the most Listen, my brother, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do... He's the most genius thing in the world. But once he gets out and the distractions are there, you're like, yo, what happened in this? What happened in that? And we can't understand, but once we become conscious, we understand it's the distractions.
Right.
But, that's what it's all about. It's not just about sitting down meditation. It's about walking meditation as well. We got to understand everything And this goes into what I was talking about. There's a new black age move. There's a black new age movement going on. The new age movement has been looked at as this white movement, or white people. And they're thinking about, they're thinking about ghosts and being possessed and Ouija boards and shit like that. But if you're in the conscious community, you was aware of this years ago with Bobby Hemming and Phil. But if you're just in this internet era, this is new to you. But it's a popular black new age movement going on right now. And we are being hip to everything, the occult sciences and the esoteric sciences. And this stuff that Bobby talked about, it's real, man. It's real.
Absolutely.
It's real. And we have to understand that, the importance of the darkness and the importance of the unseen realm. And that's something that we neglect because of distractions, because of society, and because black people more than anybody, we have been affected by religion. Because we went through slavery, for whatever reason, we embraced Jesus and religion, Christianity, more than a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's nothing wrong with that. If you do that, do that. But what I'm talking to a different group of people right now.
That's a process. And we're talking to people who are elevated beyond that, who understand what their power is and how they can take control of their narrative.
It's like conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theory was a process for me with David Icke and Jordan Maxwell.
Absolutely.
I will never bash it. You'll find people that bash it after they elevate past it, and you're not supposed to do that.
And I told people the same exact thing.
You're not supposed to do that.
These people are coming into their awareness, and we were all there at one point. You know what I mean?
Imagine a 7th grader bashing a 3rd grader.
Right.
If we would be like, nigga, you're retarded. That's what we do.
Yes.
We're 7th graders bashing the 3rd grader, so the people that's in 3rd grade, they can never even get to the 7th grade.
Absolutely.
How the fuck we do that?
Absolutely.
But we think it's so logically.
Yes.
So we have to stop thinking logically, nigga. In order to get to the 7th grade, you have to go to the 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade.
And
you gotta,
religion is a part of that process. And I always spoke to people, a lot of times coming into the conscious community is a way station as a part of your deprogramming. Because you got to shake a lot of that religion off, but it's not a place to stay because consciousness never stays. It is constantly moving and evolving. So don't come and make the conscious community a religion next, because all you did is replicate what you just left. Come, deprogram, learn. It
has a lot to do with comfort too.
Yes.
A lot of people don't meditate because they're uncomfortable with their own thoughts as well. They don't like to be alone.
True.
Very
good
true.
points. Very good points.
True. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone.
Say it again.
Growth happens outside of your comfort zone.
That's one of the lessons Bobby taught. He said you're gonna hear some things that are gonna make you uncomfortable. That means you're learning. Yep. If everything I say you're in agreement with, then all I'm doing is recycling ideas and shit.
He said it's reaffirming your belief system.
Yes,
that's the word he used.
Last weekend, my mother invited me to an event at Bronx Community College for Amadou Diallo's mother. She throws an event for her son every year.
Yes.
It's the 7th year. And I get there, my pops, my mother only told me I was going to do an interview with his mom. So I'm like, I bet, cool. We get there. What did she say?
She said, you on stage in 2 minutes. And it made you uncomfortable for a minute. I was giggling my ass off because me being a speaker, you can't put me on the spot. I do this shit for a living. But to watch Malcolm go, wow, Mom, you didn't tell me. And it made him uncomfortable, but he hit that stage and he shined. So that's where the growth comes in. So the next time you're a little bit more prepared
like,
to deal with that situation.
You know what I'm saying? My mother might throw me under the bus again. I'm ready next time. You know what I'm saying? But I understand the comfort thing.
And meditation in the beginning stages of the linear sense is hard because like you start saying, damn, is the stove on? What the fuck did Rich mean when he said that shit?
Doorknob.
Doorknob, red car, puppy. You know, it becomes a process, you know what I mean? And then a lot of people give up early on it.
Yes.
The ones who can stay focused and meditate through their situation with what they want, achieve what they want at a faster rate.
Facts.
Let me read this real quick.
Yes.
I bought this. Red Pill stole my book when he did the lecture for 2020 Ascension Conference. I never got the book back. Red Pill, give me my book back.
Red Pill, come on, man.
So I been took some notes, so I want to read. This is from
Shout out to Red Pill.
This is from David Icke's book, Humanity Get Off Your Knees, I think it's called. I forget the name of it.
Okay.
But Bobby Hemming always said, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Absolutely.
And half of his book, I'm like, the fuck is this? But there were some parts of that book. If you're mentally mature enough,
I read 4 of his books already on my own. They're in your library, David Icke.
if you're mentally mature enough, you're gonna get some jewels from that. So we're not gonna agree with everything everybody says. Where did we get this mentality from?
And I wouldn't want to agree with everything somebody said.
Like, bro, like, come on. Like, there's gonna be some things I don't agree with Malcolm, Black Dot, vice versa. Like, where do we get this mentality? And this is why, side note, if you notice, a lot of people don't have relationships nowadays. And when I say that, everybody say, friends ain't shit, people ain't shit, girls ain't shit, men ain't shit, everybody ain't shit. I mean, I ain't got no friends, I ain't got no girl, I ain't got no husband. But eventually you gotta look at yourself and you gotta say, well shit, why is that? Why is that?
Yes.
Why haven't I been able to maintain relationships?
Yes.
Just because, I'm not saying be with somebody and be phony, but just because somebody has a different philosophy than you in life, don't mean you gotta cut them off.
Absolutely.
Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta work on that because everybody's lonely now.
Yes.
And if I'm saying if everybody ain't shit, why don't we get all these people that's saying everybody ain't shit, put them together, and we should have a community full of people who got mates. We ain't got that.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All the men say women ain't shit, all the women say men ain't shit. Let's put y'all together. Would y'all work out together? No.
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 No, absolutely.
No. But anyway, let me read this. Because before you really understand meditation, we have to understand how this reality matrix works. And I really respect how David Icke broke this down, and I wrote some notes on it. So I just wanted to say this real quick. When people talk, and this is from his book, I think it's Humanity Get Up Off Your Knees. When people talk about, I'm not gonna read the whole thing. But
Again,
when people talk about the subconscious or going within, they are talking about the vibrational waveform level of reality from which all form and things are decoded into manifestation. The subconscious connects us to the information matrix, we talked about that earlier, of the universe. Our reality is very similar to the wireless internet. From the moment we are born, we go online. We are receiving information for the invisible web, from the invisible web, and adding our own information and perceptions to that collective mind. DNA, with its crystalline structure, is a powerful receiver, transmitter, and amplifier of the frequencies of light that connect us to the cosmic internet. So just like the radio is a receiver, our DNA is a receiver. Same thing. Same form of technology. Ours is just way more advanced. Let me continue. The brain body is basically a liquid crystal. Pause. The LCD, the TVs, LCD, liquid crystal. Bodies are liquid crystal. Our TVs is a liquid crystal display. LCD. You be like, let me get that 26-inch LCD. All right. When massively magnified, you can see the crystalline nature of blood. The more you magnify it, it becomes quartz crystal, clear as day. Quartz crystal, which is used in our computers, has the ability to generate a fixed frequency and convert vibration into electrical signal, and that's just what our 5 senses do. So, we're crystals. This is why you see red and blue pill. These niggas is on these crystals. They like, and niggas like, you niggas look foolish. Why you wearing all these quartz crystals? It converts vibration into electrical signal. Quartz crystal. I just wanted to read exactly because I don't want people. Because when they get the book, I don't want them to say, "Well, Rich said this," and then no. I want, because I know they're gonna. Every time I mention the book, they buy it.
Got you.
So since quartz crystal in our body converts vibration into electrical signal, what does that mean? Well, and this is what meditation is all about. Well, I feel a certain way. I feel bad, right? Let's say I feel depressed. Our brain, our body converts, because we're quartz crystal, it converts that vibration into an electrical signal that we see outside of us. So if we're depressed, we will see things that make us depressed. So a person say, nigga, we say you create your own reality. They say, nigga, I ain't never think of that car accident. Well, maybe you thought about anxiety. Because of that anxiety, you thought about that vibration of anxiety. Your brain said, based upon your psychological interpretation of reality, your brain says everybody has their psychological interpretation of reality. Mine's different from yours is different from his. Your brain says, based on yours, you think depression is a car accident. You think depression is having a baby mama that ain't worth shit. So your brain will give you that, but it's the same signal. Right. It's the same signal in depression. So it's the same frequency. It's the same frequency, but it's a different picture. The picture is based on your brain's psychological interpretation. You get what I'm saying?
And I almost got ran out of Memphis because they was telling me about a 13-year-old girl who got raped. And it wasn't that I wasn't showing compassion for that. I began to ask, how was she resonating? You know what I mean? Because even on the subconscious level, the sexual energy, again, that's a part of your crystal, how you see and the people you draw to you. And I gave a whole metaphysical spill that went way over their head, and I almost had to back out of there. But that's just another example of what we talk about, how you perceive things from the subconscious mind and how it can manifest in your life. I am not literally saying she deserved to be raped. That would be fucking foolish. And like you mentioned, the car accident, you didn't deserve that either, but maybe you drew that to you based on the resonant frequency that we're speaking and emotion. And they ran me out of Memphis.
Emotions get such a bad reputation. I remember I was working outside in Brooklyn, and a brother said to me, he had this big rap on his head. He was like a guru, and everybody looked up to him. And he went to the Sufi school, and he told me emotions are evil. Yeah. He told me emotions are horrible. You should not pay attention to your emotions. And in my mind, I'm like, damn, why emotions are horrible? Well, in my mind, I felt as though, that's how that helps me create my reality. I need to get emotions. It feels good. So the more I realize is that emotions and thoughts, it's like a marriage. And you were talking about the way Wade earlier, son earlier, right? So the way Wade think he's a girl, or son think he's a woman, right? So say he cannot have a baby. He just can't. He doesn't possess that energy within him to have a baby. It is what it is. A woman does not have that energy in her to produce sperm. It is what it is. Maybe they'll say, well, back in antiquity, women. Well, it ain't that way right now. Right now, what I'm saying is that masculine and feminine, which is magnetism and electricity, that produces life. It's like a plug in a socket.
Electromagnetism.
And all this shit right here, if we were truly gay, we would say, I don't need to plug this plug into that socket. I can have a plug in a plug, and we won't produce shit out here. There will be no show. There will be no show. If we were quantumly gay, if you're quantumly gay, can be produced in this world?
Some of these, when you get some of these on the package, it says female, male.
Yes.
That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? On the plugs.
Right, on the plug itself.
Yeah. On the plug itself. Everybody in electronics knows that. This is an agenda by whoever is the so-called elite for depopulation or whatever reason they have, but male, female is necessary. So the point I was making is that emotions are extremely necessary. They're magnetic. The thoughts are electrical. Together, we produce life. So we have to pay attention to our emotions. We can't give our emotions away to the news, and that's to do. They want us to give them our emotions is our currency. Our emotions is the equivalent, nigga.
That's right.
Our emotions, where's the camera at? Right there?
Yep.
Our emotions is the equivalent to this. They be like, this ain't backed by paper. My emotions, it is. This ain't backed. No, they say this ain't backed by gold.
Right, or silver.
This is backed by my emotions.
Yes.
Whatever the currency is in the day, say if this is the currency. Say if this is the money for the day. My emotions will produce 1 million of these so I can be motherfucking rich.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
If this was the currency of the day,
Thanks.
my emotions will produce 1 million of these so I can do what I got to do to feed my son Sirius.
Absolutely.
So whatever the currency of the day, don't tell me this ain't currency. Anything I say in currency is currency.
Absolutely.
If this is currency and I got to feed my son with this, my emotional state, my vibrational state will produce 1,000 of these so I could feed little baby Sirius.
And we have a collective agreement that this now
A collective
is
agreement.
the currency that we rocking with.
A collective agreement.
Niggas will pop your top for this.
Or this, or what if Shea Butter, shout out to Shea Butter Blends.
Shout out to Shea Butter Blends, baby.
Shout out to Shea Butter. So I need us to understand the importance of our emotions. And let me finish, I guess.
Absolutely. The floor is yours, baby.
So, with that being said, so your senses decode information from vibrational states, which is your feeling, your emotions, how emotional you are, nigga, and it transmit it to the brain as electrical signals. The brain itself, made up of crystalline cells, then decodes the information into a apparent third-dimensional world that appears to be outside of us, but only exists in that form inside our brain. It's the same principle as television programs on the screen or the internet on the screen. The brain decodes the information from the five senses in two stages. Firstly, it transforms it into digital information, and then the left side, which is the side they shut down, reads it, and it creates a world that we think we see.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So we got a right and a left side. We have a logical and a creative side.
Yes.
The creative side takes that information, and it creates this. This is the greatest Photoshop ever. This is the greatest CGI ever. You know, you got Adobe Creative Cloud. This is the greatest Adobe ever. This world. Adobe could never compare to the illusions of this world.
And how it can be manipulated for your benefit or not your benefit.
Listen.
A Magi Nation.
A Magi.
Let's start talking about that. Yes.
Imagine, this is nothing, this world is none but our imagination played out.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, you know, meditation is extremely important. Music forms matter. Music is extremely important. You talked about frequencies earlier. Our brain functions in different wave states. During the awakened state, I think it's in alpha. I think it's in alpha mode, but no, I don't know if it's alpha. I forget the exact name.
But I think the beta state is when we're more.
The beta is deep sleep.
Right, deep sleep. Yes.
But what the wave state? No, alpha is like the dream state right before you go to sleep. But a lot of the music on my meditation album is going to take you in that dreamlike state.
Okay. Okay.
And what it does is that I got some binaural beats in there, and what it does is, alpha state is a certain frequency. How you do that with music is. Binaural beats is you have a frequency on your left side, you have a frequency on your right side. So let's say it's 500 on the left side. I have a instrument on there. Let's say it's 530 on the right side. 500 on the left side, 530 on the right side. You subtract it. Between those two sounds is 30 hertz. It's 30. That 30 is the measurement of the alpha wave, because that's
because the other two cancel each other out.
Yeah, they cancel each other out.
And the balance left over.
The balance left over is 30.
Okay.
So because of that, your brain automatically syncs with that wave state that a hypnotist will put you under when they do that thing right there. When they do that. So
get out and shit.
Get out. Yeah. So because of that, we automatically go in that state. And it's easy to create because in our waking state, it's so hard to create because we have the monkey mind. There's so much chatter from what I said earlier, the static. Remember I used the analogy? The static. The static is there, so it's hard to create. We got to get rid of the static and then we create. So we got to figure out ways to hack the brain. And that's meditation is one way to hack the brain, basically. In a nutshell, get rid of the static, man.
So this project, I heard you mention you've taken sounds from different continents, to kind of give us a not a smorgasbord, but a full, well-rounded, understanding of sound from different places, because different continents have different vibrations and represent different chakras. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, we're global people. We, in our DNA.
It's a Zaza. Thank you so much.
Yeah, in our DNA, and it's Zaza. It's a Zaza. Be on my channel, so shout out to that.
Shout out. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
In our DNA, we're connected to the entire universe, the entire globe, to everything in existence. So these instruments, they are us and we are them. So I want to give us a global experience, and I got all the continents. And the different continents resonate with different chakras. If you notice, different continents have different personalities.
Yes.
So each song has a different personality, and it resonates with a different continent. So
dope. So when is this project?
What's it called?
Mercury Meditations.
Mercury Meditations.
I'm a Virgo.
Yes.
You call me.
We get ready to go into retrograde on Sunday.
So,
Mercury retrograde.
And I'm an 8. That's Mercury. So, I'm Mercury all the way, and it is what it is.
So Mercury Meditations.
Yes.
And how many songs? Because I heard you mention there will be 7-hour version of these songs. What was the purpose of giving that much for those who specially ordered that? What are you trying to accomplish?
Because when you sleep, Black Dot, or like I said, that's when you're being programmed.
Right.
Sometimes when I'm asleep like that, if I'm listening to cartoons, I end up dreaming about that shit.
Absolutely.
I'll be
It
like,
happens to me.
I'll be like, what the fuck?
That shit happens to me all the time, bro. It really does.
The best way to you gotta understand, your conscious mind is not your enemy. We be like, the ego was our enemy. If it was our enemy, we wouldn't. The ego allows us to experience this reality. So, and we just have to understand the role of the ego and the role of the superconscious and the subconscious.
Because it can be your enemy.
It can be,
if you let it out of control and don't understand its importance and role.
And its role.
And you understanding. Absolutely.
It's not the driver. It's not the driver of the car. You can't allow it to be the driver. They say it's a good slave but a bad master. You can't let it be the master, but it's a good slave. And I don't want to insult it by saying it's a slave and then rebel against me and be like, nigga, I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
That's dope. So is Cambada involved with this as well?
Well, not this particular project, but me and Cambada starting a whole new genre called medicinal music. Teddy Riley said if you want a sound and you want it to be followed and you want it to be appreciated, to name it. We're looking to help people. We're calling it medicinal music. This is just my instrumental. I'm tackling this whole meditation genre, black new age movement going on. Everything we get involved with, we add spice to it.
Yes.
We add some type of flavor to it. And meditation music needs that same spice, needs that same flavor. And I'm here to add that to the whole meditational music movement.
And this is going to be paradigm shifting because there's a void that needed to be filled.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like I talk a lot about Tariq Nasheed. He filled a void with the Hidden Colors series. It was just there, and a void needed to be filled for those coming out of religion and need to get a 101 understanding of who they are. So, as we look around at all these other people making meditation CDs that are great, but they don't necessarily tune in to our frequency. Yeah. Now, Bro.Rich is going to fill that void. So now when you think of meditation music, we don't have to go get the Om CD from Bibbly and all these motherfuckers. We can go to BlackMagik363 and get the shit ourselves.
You gotta understand, they define the spiritual community. They have defined awareness, self-awareness as racism. So, as being a melanated being, what we call melanated, whatever term we use, the more we try to discover ourselves and we discover we love our hair and we discover we love who we are and the fact that we love to dance and we may express that, they get offended by that and they say that that's racist. Don't mention race. They and a lot of them, all the self-help gurus out here,
yes, absolutely.
They are scared shitless to mention race.
Yes,
scared shitless because they don't want to lose their following because their following is white and they get offended by you mentioning race.
Absolutely.
Just because I mention race doesn't mean I'm racist. It means I'm becoming self-aware of myself as a person and as a group of people who has suffered from post-traumatic slavery syndrome.
Facts.
PTSD.
Absolutely.
So I have to act and I have to behave in a certain way and I have to study a certain doctrine just in order for me to appreciate myself.
Facts.
So it's so inauthentic for them not to realize that and for them to talk shit about this and act like, oh, you're not as spiritual. You're playing the color game. I'm not. Some people do play the color game.
Right. Some people have not evolved past that, but that's not what we're talking about here.
I'm talking about there's nothing wrong with acknowledging this is a movie, right?
Yes.
Denzel had to acknowledge his character in Training Day in order to be that character.
Absolutely.
If he went on the set and he said, I'm Denzel, I'm not this, I'm not him, I can't be, they'd be like, nigga, you can't play the movie then.
No,
in order for me to play this movie, I have to acknowledge my character. My character came down here as what we call an African-American male from Harlem, New York, and whatever. So it goes back to the what's the word I used earlier? Not polarity. It's just complex. It's a contradiction.
Yeah, paradox.
Paradox. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm this African American male from Harlem, but I'm also unlimited awareness.
Spiritual being having a human experience.
Having a human experience.
Yes.
So who am I? I gotta find that balance.
Absolutely.
I gotta find that, and most time, you find individuals that's on this side or that side. This nigga's so out there, he's crazy,
Right.
or this nigga's so in the world that he's selling drugs. All he worries about is pussy, and he watched it's two extremes.
And I am all of that.
Yeah.
And then some. You know what I mean? This is why I never truly try to allow people to box me in and define me, because my experience today may not be what my experience is tomorrow.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm on this journey. I'm on this path to experience as much as I can. If your whole purpose was to come down here and experience nothing, then why the fuck are you here? Why the fuck are you here?
Nigga, you might have came down here to experience a cheeseburger.
Facts.
You so worried about being a vegan, nigga. You never experienced that cheeseburger, that GMO that you.
Absolutely.
There's no right, bad, and like, don't try to box me into bad or good.
Right.
We're not even talking
That's
about
morality,
that right,
and that's a whole nother
we're not even talking about
fucking
that
can
right
of worms.
We're not even talking about.
And that's what I use to get through my life every day. And I tell Malcolm all the time, listen, I drove by, and that Popeye's chicken sandwich called me in there, nigga. And I went in and experienced that shit.
And I
pulled the data. Listen, I pulled the data.
Pulled the data from the information.
From the information was like, okay, I'm done with it. I didn't go the next day and the day after and create a habit around eating fucking chicken sandwiches, because I understand the laws of cause and effect. I enjoyed that shit. I let it go.
Listen, there's no need. I'm gonna tell you this. There's no need in being spiritual, being vegan, or whatever or conscious if you're miserable. If you're miserable,
then you created another prison.
You create another prison,
Oh my
and you're
God.
still gonna die early. You're still gonna. Our emotions dictate our health.
Facts.
So just because you eating grass all motherfucking day, don't mean you're gonna live a good life. See, we confuse. It's all about our vibrational state.
All about our vibrational state.
We
I tell
are
people
vibrational
that
beings.
all the time. There was a time when I was a prisoner to the same shit I was doing. Like I gotta drink this green juice because it means that shit meant absolutely nothing if I wasn't vibrating on the right frequency. I know, and I mention this, I know motherfucking crackheads who never spent a day in a fucking hospital, a day in their life, and they running around this motherfucker crazy. I know motherfuckers who ate nothing but vegetables and worked out, and they dead. So please do not tell me that Kobe Bryant, perfect example, he was on a fucking airplane, fucking helicopter. Had nothing to do with sea moss or green juice or none of that shit. So your vibration here is far more greater than you would like to admit. Now that doesn't mean you. Please don't be a literalist.
Yeah, people will.
Please don't.
People will take something and
And
run it in the ground.
literally run that shit down the hill.
We do that.
So
as a
I always
people.
have to go. Do not take this shit literal. Understand your time here and your experience here is to have a full experience to the best of your ability until it's time for you to clock out of this bitch. And in the meantime, before I clock out, I'm gonna get some meditation music to help me go to even a higher level on you niggas.
Facts.
Is it out already?
It will be out by the end of this month.
Okay.
The beginning of March. I delayed it a little bit. I just wanted to make it just right.
Okay.
I released 2 songs so far. It's a 7-song EP.
Do you wanna have like a listening body or?
Nah, I'm just
You're not
gonna
gonna do
release
all
it.
that?
Yeah, I'm just gonna release it. Yeah, I'm just gonna release it.
Are you sure?
But yeah.
Come up here, man. I got bottles of Henny, nigga. We can get a party
Hey,
going.
hey, man, I already had some tequila, so I
Oh,
don't
you had some already? Okay. Well, you know how we do.
Yeah, I know. Dot hospitality is A1, family. Dot
Appreciate that.
Dot treat you like a king whenever you come to the studio. I'm thoroughly impressed. Side note off of this, the way your wife, your son, and you do this thing, I'm thoroughly impressed.
Thank you.
I've never seen nothing like this in my life.
Appreciate it,
Thank
man.
you.
The collective team effort that goes on here. Listen, it's absolutely phenomenal. I'm not exaggerating one bit. If you say Bro.Rich talks with integrity and I talk with my soul, and I'm gonna close my eyes because the darkness lets me tell the truth, and I'm gonna close my eyes while I say this. It's absolutely beautiful what I say. You know what? It's not that it's beautiful. I envision one day me, my son, and my queen working together. And I know nothing's perfect.
Yes.
And nobody's saying that. No,
Right.
because that's like we said, they niggas take shit literally.
Yeah.
They be
Right.
like, me and my girl argued yesterday. No, nigga, okay, great. Okay,
Right.
get over it. I'm not saying that. Argue, get over it. What I'm saying is that it's beautiful the fact that y'all could collectively come together and put this together and make it look like this. It's
Appreciate
absolutely
that.
beautiful. I want my son to be involved with me. When I see you and Malcolm,
Yes.
I want to work with my son on that level, man.
And that's the message we're trying to convey
work with my son. Man.
to those and their parents. And I'm gonna be honest,
You don't see this in the black community.
right. So I wanted to help bring
And
it about.
it didn't come. This didn't come about like overnight.
No, we worked at it.
It
Yeah.
don't matter.
I had to get him to understand while we working. I'm not your dad. Don't fucking call me dad. You
Right,
know what I
right.
mean? we doing business.
That's expected.
And I'm gonna hold you accountable, and vice versa. And me and wife been doing this. We've been doing this for years.
And even I was having like even growing up like my pops he always told me like I created this business for you guys, and I was just still kind of like
Right.
I'm gonna go do my own thing,
Yeah.
and then like it literally just kind of hit me like one day I was at work while I was still in college. I was like, you know what, I want to work with you guys.
That's how it happens. Listen,
Facts.
did you get offended when he originally? Because
Oh no. Go do your thing.
you allowed him to.
Go do your thing. When you ready, I'll be here and we can get this
When the
thing
student
popping.
is ready, the
teacher
teacher
will appear. You know what I mean? And so go do your thing. Go out in corporate America. You earned your degree.
Your ego wasn't hurt.
Hell no. But I did put something on the track in hopes and vision that my children could grow into it. And me, develop some things. And I'm having a ball. When I tell you I'm having a ball, because it's a hack. It's a family hack. I call a meeting sometimes just so I could be with the family. Hey, I'm calling a meeting. Motherfucker,
Boss
have a
move.
meeting.
Boss move.
Boss move. And it keeps your children close to you, and you grow together. You know what I mean? And we got some big announcements coming soon.
We'll let you know off camera.
Yeah, we got some things cooking. I mean, like this shit is brewing, and it's great because we're giving people a window into this and how we do it, and we lay it all out there when we fuck up, when we mess shit up. So it's all there, so you don't get this perfect picture because it's far from perfect, and we striving for something.
Dope.
So we appreciate everybody in our chat.
Facts, man.
Who get down with us.
Definitely, man.
Side note, we need to all be on a string. I'm talking about everybody in the so-called conscious community that has their own platform. We're not on a string. When your last album came out, to me, it should have moved 50,000 units on the string. Meaning you were supposed to go through 50 conscious outlets, and every single outlet added on to each. When your book just dropped, you were supposed to be on a 50 podcast tour of conscious people in the community on a string, and that's how we control narrative.
Yeah, like,
and that's how the major people do it.
That's how they do it.
That's how they do
Like,
it.
what's the point of having our own platforms, quote unquote, if we're not using them how they're supposed to be used?
Right. See, Rich is here today. Next week we'll be on here. We have to all be on a string so that we can control our own narrative, and people can't say weird things about us. And when we have something to offer the people, we know when Ghost drop, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna move 50,000 units because we got 300,000 people built in. And we don't have that on a string. We have some people over here working together, some people taking shots at them, some people doing this, some people doing that, and we need to be on a string.
Facts.
That's just my humble opinion.
Indeed.
So, where can you be reached? And tell me about some other things you got on. I heard you got a conference coming up soon.
Yeah, we got I got a women's conference.
Okay.
Coming up in July, and I'm still
Have you
trying.
picked the women that you?
I got some names out
Names
there
that you
that's
figure
some
can rock?
Big names, yeah. That's definitely gonna rock.
Okay.
I'm not
okay.
gonna say them just now.
All
I'm gonna
right.
wait
Yeah.
till
Solidify
everything's
some things.
finalized,
Yes.
but
Yes.
everything ain't finalized now. So I'm telling the people to give me suggestions. But we're gonna have a family. We're gonna have a huge women conference in probably July in Brooklyn, New York City. I'm probably gonna call it the Shakti Conference or something like that. It's gonna be like something you never seen before. We're gonna have speakers speaking, and we're gonna have an area where women are in the back giving consultations. And everything like
Absolutely.
that. It's gonna be absolutely magnificent. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be such a divine, feminine, divine presence that you're gonna be like, oh shit! Like you're gonna feel like you just came out the womb. You're gonna feel like like mama just birthed you. Like it's one of that type of feeling. But that's coming real soon. Besides that, me and Billy Carson is doing. We're combining. We're doing a workshop, in probably May 23rd in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And it's called the I Nation Workshop, 6-hour workshop. It's gonna be off the hook.
So hands-on.
Hands-on.
So not just theory. It's time to get hands-on. Get this workshop
It's not
going.
just you sitting there listening. It's interactive. We're gonna have special exercises for everybody to do. That's gonna impact your psyche, your brain, your heart. Because the goal right now, we experience an era of brain information. We need an era of brain and heart information. We need brain-heart coherence.
Yeah.
What I said earlier, I said the thoughts and the emotions create reality.
Right.
We
There's
can't
a
have
synergy of two.
We
Yes.
can't have these gay thoughts. We can't just have electrical thoughts without the emotional principle. And that's what we've been doing. It's a bunch of males getting together. It's not only about males because we have male and female within us.
Right,
But we
right. I know
can't
what you
just
mean.
have thoughts without the emotional equivalent to back it. Once we have the thoughts and
Because
emotion,
then we have balance.
yeah, exactly.
Shout out
Not
to Do
only
the Knowledge
balance,
Radio.
but we have creation. There's no
Absolutely.
creation without thoughts and emotion.
Yes,
Electrical
absolutely.
magnetism. So yeah.
Shout out to Do the Knowledge Radio, Born Out Loud. We're going to be on his show Sunday, 4 p.m.
Yeah.
So Do the Knowledge Radio. We see you, God. So we're going to be in the building 4 p.m. Rock it. This is what we mean by being on a string. So Do the Knowledge has his own audience. We're going to come and touch that audience. And that's how we're going to get this whole thing moving. So where can you be reached?
I just want to say this before I say that. I'm like, you know how Kanye, he just want to say some shit sometimes.
Yeah, let it
I just
rip.
want to say this. Because I feel like Kanye talks sometimes from his heart. He just talk from somewhere, whether it's right or wrong, where it's not where normal people talk from.
Yes.
And I just want to say this. I just want to give a shout out and a thank you to my son. My son is 16 months. And I've been in this matrix. I'm in my mid-30s. I've been in this matrix for a long time. And I've never experienced something like having my son. And it has been the most magnificent. It's been the hardest and the magnificent. It's that, what's that word we use? I'm not good with words. What's that word we use? We keep using?
Paradox.
It's hard, but it's the most beautiful. It's hard, but it's beautiful at the same time. It's the most beautiful thing in the world, but it's hard because I'm trying to balance my life. I'm trying to balance work, my relationship. My relationship suffered. My work life suffered.
Yes.
And so many things suffered from me giving so much attention to bringing him from it's a baby, so
Yes.
it's full attention.
Yes.
Can't walk, can't do anything.
Listen, Brother Rich, my lecture to you. You know what I'm saying?
I remember you gave that
the
video.
fatherhood video
You warned
for
me.
you.
You told me all of that.
I was trying to tell you
Told
this.
me all of that.
This is a process, right? And in that process, you're going to have to give a part of yourself that you are not accustomed to giving because you never had to. And then wifey is going to have a period where she's feeling a little neglected because you're creative. And then
That exact thing happened.
no, dude, I know.
exact
I was
thing
trying
happened.
to let you know that even this
Malcolm.
too shall
It's
pass.
gonna happen. Yo, listen.
Yes,
Listen.
this too shall pass, but you got to be able to ride that wave and put it in balance. The only thing that you do have in your favor is that you do work from home. You know what I'm saying? So you can intermittently provide support where other individuals are out on a 9-to-5 working long hours away from home, and your wife is waiting for you to come in to even have a dope conversation, and you come in, you tired, little man is waiting for you. He want to get down on the floor and do what's important to him. Now, the shit may not be important to you, but that truck that you bought him, that's the most important shit for him, and you better get down on the floor with him and make this shit about his truck, or you gonna lose, right? So shall pass because it all goes in cycles. So as long as you and wifeys keep the communication open, right? Y'all gonna go through some shit, but when you keep the communication open, and then one day it's just gonna click. He gonna get a little older, and he gonna be potty trained, and he gonna be able to tell you, Dad, I need this and that. And then cartoons become your best friend. You like the motherfuckers. I knew all the latest cartoons. And then you and wifey can get back to doing what you and wifey do. So no worries, but there is going to be a testing process.
Period.
And all the beauty of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when you bring life here, it really changes everything. Because now you're not just looking for you or looking out for you. You have other agendas now. You know what I mean? So when I came up in the conscious community, niggas was making fun of having a job. I had a job that paid me $80,000 to $100,000 a year. Fuck you. I got kids that need to be fed, and I can be conscious and have a job. How about that? And so there's different phases that you have to go through to make this work. You're gonna figure it all out. Virgos always do.
Yeah.
Let's drop the bomb to that.
I definitely had to say that.
No, real talk. 16 months.
So yeah, 16.
Wow.
16 months.
You got to bring them up here.
Yeah, definitely, man.
I want to run around with them and shit. I wear kids out.
Just in case he sees.
They be like, tell Uncle Wayne, I'm tired and shit. I wear kids out and shit. You know what I mean? So that's what it's about.
But as far as getting in touch with me, like you said, contact. Hit up my email, richandmerit at Yahoo. That's RICHINMERIT. So that's richandmerit at yahoo.com. You email me for inquiries or whatever, and I'll respond. I'm gonna have further more contact info later on down the line. I'm actually getting another number. I'm actually doing the Ryan Leslie approach. Instead of using email, I'm gonna have another number, because Ryan Leslie said you get a better conversion if you have a phone number instead of having an email.
Oh, we just got a phone number. Clap that up.
Okay.
We just got it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna add another line to my account, and I'm gonna have a phone number where I can reach the people. Because YouTube, listen, I've been at 269,000 subscribers for 10 months. They fuck with my subscribers.
So
my people don't get announcements.
Yes.
They be like, yo, I didn't get a notification.
So we've been at 44,000 or 42 to 44,000 for about 6 to 8 months. I know,
and the views you get,
I know the views we get.
They bullshit.
They bullshitting. Yes.
YouTube is bullshitting with the algorithms. They bullshitting with the numbers.
We got something for them.
They don't even want to monetize 80% of the content right now.
Right.
If you're talking about anything authentic. So
we got something for them. Don't worry.
Yeah, we all got. That's what that.
We're gonna unleash the beast on these.
Yeah, we all are.
So with that being said, Malk, you want to close out?
Oh yes. Thank you for the people who joined us tonight. All the people in the chat. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to visit shopurbanx.com to take part in the 29 for 29 sale.
Go to BlackMagik363. You know, Rich is always putting up powerful information.
You know what I'm saying? Tell a friend to tell a friend. Don't forget to listen to our podcast if you're not watching on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn, all of that good stuff. And we appreciate you guys. Peace.
We are out of here.